Patrick Mahomes is going to play this weekend. He is, if my calculation is right, after learning what the steps are for the concussion protocol, he's in step 3 currently. And there's 5 steps in this entire thing. I believe you have to start with some light stretching. Then there's some aerobic shit. And then there is basically supervised practice by athletic trainers for 30 minutes or something like that. They said that he'll be listed as limited or did not participate, but he is participating. He's just going to be under the watch of the athletic trainer, which I believe is step 3 or step 4. I think it's step 3 of the concussion protocol. Once he feels good there, then something else has to happen. Then an independent person, and then he's cleared to get out of the protocol. The very interesting situation here with Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, going in championship weekend, it's a big deal. He's one of the faces of the NFL. Unbelievable football player. He gets taken out. The Browns almost make it in there. I didn't think there was any chance that he was not going to play. I didn't know how. I didn't see how that was going to happen. But with the independent neurological consultant making the decision, he has not been there yet. I'll be in. What if? What if like the team doctor says, hey, he's good. And then the independent guy goes, we need another 24 hours or so. And then that report of he's been cleared by the team, but not by the independent doctor. The conversations that'll happen out of that will be awesome. I mean, that'll be awesome. Where's the doctor from? Is the doctor from Buffalo? Whoa. What are some ties to the doctor? I mean, there's going to be a whole thing, but it's nice to know that Patrick Mahomes probably playing this.
Depends on the age, most likely, of the doctor. If he's a young doctor, a little more concerned about the concussions.
Oh, you're saying that you think a younger player, a younger doctor is going to be more likely to be like, oh, CT, pretty real thing, like there's big problems here. Can't send you back out there. You are the face of the league. Don't need you not knowing your name next year. Or do you think older doctor, are you saying in the same thing, older doctor goes, I remember when. He talks about a 3 concussion guy going out there?
Yeah.
So you're disrespecting the doctorship of whatever doctor it is completely.
Most likely, I assume so.
Yeah, okay. That's very nice of you. I am intrigued how that process works. I've never had to be there. Like, who do they fly a doctor in? Is the doctor from the town?
There's no way he could be from Kansas City, right? Because that's not really impartial.
Yeah, because normally they don't allow refs, I don't think, or even potentially from the area, although Saints-Rams with the pass interference, that guy did have a house in L.A.
Yes, he did.
Poor decision looking back on that. So is the independent doctor from Kansas City? Or is he from the Kansas City, Kansas? You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Oh, he's not from Kansas City, Missouri. He's from Kansas City, Kansas. Different city.
Well, Favre's telling him not to play, too. Favre said, hey, Mahomes, if by the time you get there, if you're just not feeling right, doctors might just have to say you can't play.
Hey, Favre's a hero.
Which is interesting
nice
because
guy.
Favre probably played concussed in like 60 to 70 games.
Whoa, more than that.
Well, that's what they say.
Well, yeah, but don't throw stones at glass houses. You did it. Let Pat do it.
Oh, so now you're saying, hey, listen. You went ahead and just buried your brain.
Yeah.
All right, let Pat do the same damn thing.
He's trying to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, just pay attention to your text messages, Brett.
Whoa, come on.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's an independent doctor on every sideline, right?
Every game, yeah. Every game has
on both sidelines.
No, I think just one for the game. And that person's supposed to watch and say, oh, that person's a bit woobly. We need to check and get them off the field. But if that person doesn't know anything about football, I mean, that was a very interesting rollout of that because I was privy to a conversation between a player and one of those doctors. And it's a stinger. It was a stinger. You know what I mean? It was a stinger. So there for a second when that thing got pinched, I couldn't feel my arm or whatever, but it's good now. And the doctor goes, okay, give it a little test. All right, yeah, all right, you're good, yeah. I'm like, well, that guy was dead. That guy was knocked unconscious. That was like the first year. They've had to add a lot of different things into this because anytime you have an independent person making a decision that is worth potentially hundreds of millions of dollars, I mean, that person cannot be compromised.
Right.
Not one bit in that entire thing. Happy Patrick Mahomes is going to be playing. He's a stud. Brett Favre, I guess, said, and I don't know his exact words, but something about Patrick Mahomes not playing this weekend because concussions are no joke, which everybody found very interesting because whenever he said them, this is before we knew if Patrick Mahomes was going to be able to play this weekend. And this is Colin Cowherd, a man who I have great respect for, okay? Incredibly entertaining guy. His work ethic is also something that should be talked about, like, big Colin Cowherd. He said they should delay the goddamn game until Patrick Mahomes can get back into it. And passionately said that. And there was some real thought like, is this how the Final Four should be? Should the Final Four be, and especially the potential beginning of a dynasty, should it go down because Patrick Mahomes is out? Now, if it was COVID related, it would be a completely different discussion. The fact that it's a concussion, I think not as many people were on Colin Cowherd's side as, but Patrick Mahomes, not on the Kansas City Chiefs, is not the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a $500 million quarterback. So him potentially not playing this weekend, all the way up until today, basically, was a real thought. Like, is he going to play or not? This morning, Ian Rappaport basically alluded to the fact, like, hey, he's in step 3 of the protocol right now. He's very comfortable with where he's at. He has no symptoms. Basically, the Rappaport was tweeting that he's playing this weekend, but Rappaport couldn't say he was playing this weekend. Basically is what it felt like. Now, there's an independent neurologist consultant, right? Independent neurologist consultant. Is that the correct thing? I believe so.
It sounds right.
I maybe constituent, which I was called last night in a city council meeting. But there's a lot of things that have to happen. But whenever Brett Favre said his comment, there was real thought that he was potentially not going to play. What did Brett Favre exactly say, Diggs?
He said, I played 321 straight games. It kind of goes against everything that I stood for when I played, but you got to be smart. You've got to be smart. He said, I was never faced with a decision like he potentially will face this week. Ultimately, the decision may fall on the doctors, and if they choose that he doesn't play, then it's the right move because of the long-term damage. When you're in the moment and you're young, you're bulletproof. Man, I'm 51 years old, and I'm wondering what tomorrow will bring because of concussions more than anything.
Huh. So he didn't say he shouldn't play, though. He basically said, like, if the doctors deem him in that whole thing. Yeah, Nick put out clickbait whenever Nick tweeted out that we said, Nick tweeted out that Brett said, this is the tweet that we put out. I'm getting heat right now on the internet, and this is going to become another Bleacher Report gridiron.
Oh, jeez.
This could become another. Brett Favre doesn't think Patrick Mahomes should play this weekend is the tweet that we put out. That's the exact thing. It's like, he's basically says he doesn't think he should play. If the doctors say he doesn't play, he shouldn't play or something like that. That's a very different world right there. That's a very different world. Nick just maybe dropped us into the beehive again.
Listen to the clip. It's what you said.
Well, listen, I wasn't saying it, though. I didn't even know what the clip was.
Don't put it on me. Put it on the people who gave you the false info.
Oh.
Huh.
Anyways,
Me.
Brett Favre doesn't think Patrick Mahomes should play this weekend. If the doctor doesn't think he should play this weekend, which is the concussion protocol, and he will be playing, which is good news. Go ahead, Diggs.
There was one final quote.
Maybe.
This is a test for the NFL right now to see a star player in a crucial game. What will happen with their decision? The protocol's in place. Let's see if they follow it. But that was...
Which he never did.
Does Brett Favre, was he alluding to the NFL potentially going like, hey, independent doctor, you want to continue to be our independent doctor? We find another independent doctor. He's good.
Check the box.
Huh? He's good? You know, he's got like commercials and Dynasty and $500 million coming. God, Brett Favre is saying that that's potentially what they're thinking about almost doing, right? That's how that would have to play out.
Yeah.
There's no way the NFL could do that nowadays. That would come out so quick. Do you not think? Do you not think that would come out so quick?
I don't know.
I feel like everything on earth nowadays comes out so quick.
But I feel like they have a very good control over like what is actually getting out there. I mean, like you said with the independent doctor stuff, I feel like there's definitely still a way where behind closed doors they do exactly what you just said. It's like, hey, you want to fucking do this next week?
Huh? There's an independent doctor, right next door.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Pat's playing. Pat's playing on Sunday.
That would be wild if they did that, because at some point somebody would write a book. You know, in the NFL, maybe would just have to pay him off forever, I guess. Is that how you keep that person quiet? Because at some point somebody would say, well, I guess that's how the movies like Concussion start getting made.
Yeah. I do figure that in any contract with the NFL, number one right at the top, defend the shield. So I don't think everything after that
Protect the
follows.
shield.
Yeah, protect the shield.
Protect the shield.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then everything after that, do your job, blah, 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 blah. And then at the bottom again, protect the shield.
You do hear a lot of guys come out whenever something happens from the NFL side, ex-players, and they're like, we're always told, like, hey, protect the shield, protect the shield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, the shield. And it's real, because the league is a good one, and you're lucky to play in there. But then whenever things come out, it's like, are we protecting the fucking shield, or what are we doing up there? It's an interesting, because the thought of it, I would like to be, I think, naive enough to be like, No, that's not happening. Okay? I'd like to be naive enough. I would like to live in a world where I can fully, and I do, by the way. So this is where I don't think they do it. I don't think they're doing that. I don't think there's a chance of them doing that, just because if it was to be recorded somehow, especially at the world we live in now, and come out, it would jeopardize a lot with the league and the future of the league and the lawsuits of ex-players and current players and future players. I mean, there is just, I think that would be that'd be quite a roll of the dice, to be honest with you, now that we think about it. But can you completely rule it out? Brett Favre says, I don't think you can.